Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, we have safety tips when out capturing Pokemon. A pair of sea turtles are released back to the open waters, and dinosaurs will soon be roaming the ocean center. Plus, Joanne Magley talks with Lori Campbell Baker, new executive director of the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Even if you aren't into playing video games, you have probably heard about the latest video game fad called Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is a free, location-based reality video game that allows users to catch characters using their cell phone. The Pokemon craze developed in Japan in the mid-1990s and quickly spread to the United States. The cards and video games are centered on fictional creatures called Pokemon, which humans catch and train to battle each other. The goal of Pokemon Go is to catch all 151 original Pokemon, including the powerful Charizard, the lovable Jigglypuff, and the ever-popular Pikachu. While Pokemon Go has received praise for motivating players to explore new areas and increase physical activity, it also has created some safety concerns. If you or your child are part of the Pokemania, please follow the suggested tips to play safe. Pokemon Go hunters should be alert at all times and stay aware of your surroundings. You should watch where you're going. Do not drive or ride your bike, skateboard, or other device while interacting with the Pokemon Go app. You cannot do both safely at the same time. Do not trespass. Go onto private property or into any area you usually would not if you weren't playing the Pokemon Go app. Understand that people use your location to lure you to Pokestops, so they might victimize you. Take a friend with you. If you are a minor, check with a parent before going anywhere and tell an adult or law enforcement officer immediately if anything happens. Parents of Pokemon Go hunters should talk to your kids about strangers and set limits on where your kids can go. Be aware of third-party software apps claiming to enhance the gaming experience. Unfortunately, many of these apps allow access to sensitive personal data. Already amassing more than 75 million downloads worldwide, Pokemon Go's popularity is continuing to grow. While the game may be a great way to get a little extra walking in and visit new areas, you must remember to stay safe if you are on a quest to catch them all. The scorching summer heat has many in Volusia County heading to the water to cool down. The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County is reminding Floridians and visitors alike to take precautions when out and about on our brackish waterways. Vibrio vulnificus is a bacterium that normally lives in warm, brackish water such as the Halifax and Indian rivers. It can cause infections in people with open wounds that are exposed to Vibrio vulnificus through direct contact with the brackish water. If you swim or fish in these rivers, a little awareness may go a long way. Dr. Paul Ramey, epidemiologist with the Department of Health, says while the infection is rare, people should still take precautions.
All this is not meant to discourage people from taking advantage of the waterways and the things that we do have here for water recreation. It's just to make people aware that this is out there, and so they will take precautions and try and avoid getting infected, and if they do, they can get treated early enough so it won't be a problem.
Vibrio, as it's commonly referred to, is found in higher concentrations in stagnant inshore waters during warm, rainy months from April to November. Infections are rare, with an average of 30 people diagnosed with the disease each year in Florida. So remember to protect yourself. Don't eat raw seafood, don't expose open wounds to brackish water, and if you think you have an infection, see a doctor as soon as possible.
people at most risk of acquiring the infection are those with underlying disease conditions, specifically things that cause immunodeficiencies or other chronic conditions such as hepatitis or diabetes. Although other people can get infections with it, those are the people that are at the highest risk of infection.
Again, Vibrio infections are rare. If you do acquire an infection, the symptoms are vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain or fever, skin breakdown and skin ulcers, fever, chills, decreased blood pressure, and blistering skin lesions. If you have a medical condition that puts you at risk for a Vibrio infection, talk to your doctor about how to stay healthy while enjoying Volusia's beautiful waterways. For more information on safe summer swimming, you can visit volusiahealth.com. Today on Solutions for Your Life, Karen Stotterman, Commercial Horticultural Agent with the University of Florida IFAS Extension in Volusia County, and Howard Jeffries, UF IFAS Extension Master Gardener, demonstrate how to prepare your trees for hurricane season.
Hi, I'm Karen Stotterman, the Commercial Horticulture Extension Agent for the University of Florida, Volusia County Extension Office. Today on Solutions for Your Life, we're going to be talking to Master Gardener Howard Jeffries, and he's going to be talking about tree care prior to our hurricane season. Howard, take it away.
Karen, one of the most important things people need to realize about their trees is they do require care, especially pruning. Trees are something we take for granted. We all like trees for shade. We also like them for their flowers and various other issues. But we're in the hurricane season, which means we can anticipate high wind and heavy rain. All of those can have serious impact not only on your trees, but your property. Today, I want to encourage you to take and have a look at your trees. To show you some examples of potential damage, look to my left and see that dead branch up there? If that were to fall and a car was parked in this empty spot, it would cause damage. Another issue to look for are branches over structures or where you'd park your car. Obviously, if there was breakage of those branches, they would damage that structure. Another issue to look for are dying or broken branches. Here you can see that 2 branches of good size have already fallen down over this sidewalk. That is a definite safety issue. Look for such things as dead wood. Look for signs of dieback. You say, well, I don't feel comfortable, telling my tree's good or bad. What could I do? The answer is hire a certified arborist. The certified arborist will help identify your problem, tell you how to correct it, and likewise do the work for you. It'll save you a lot of time, a lot of grief, and also money, because if you have damage, it's going to be some problems. So do that. Well, I've lost my tree, now what? Don't worry about if you lose your tree, because you can always replace it with the right tree in the right place. This is a problem many of us have, because we want a fast-growing tree to shade our yard. We want it within 5 years. Unfortunately, we get those type of trees. They have brittle wood, which means anytime you get winds of 35 miles an hour or more, they're going to cause damage. Now, if you go for the larger trees, and you buy a piece of property that's got a large live oak on it, sure, that's a big tree. But if it hasn't been pruned within the last 5 or 10 years, you probably got a canopy that's going to be like a gigantic sail. So when the wind blows through it, it's going to possibly blow the tree over, or at least blow off parts of the trees, some of the branches. You might be asking about palm trees. Is there anything I should do on that? And the answer is, you only need to remove any dead or broken fronds. Palm trees are very hardy in storms, so don't cut off anymore and do what they call the hurricane cut. That actually weakens a tree, and if that center leader dies out, so will the palm tree. So it's important that you do get your trees taken care of. The sooner the better.
Thanks for the great tips, Howard. For this and more information on preparing for hurricanes, contact us here at the Extension Office at 386-822-5778 or solutionsforyourlife.com. I'm Karen Stotterman with Solutions for Your Life.
Here's a look at some events happening around Volusia County. For more events and county news, visit volusia.org. It was a busy week at the Marine Science Center as they successfully released 2 sea turtles they rehabilitated at their turtle hospital. Madison, a juvenile green sea turtle, was brought to the Turtle Hospital April 26th after she was found floating in a marina in New Smyrna Beach, unresponsive, weak, covered in algae, and with low glucose levels.
From the amount of anemia and dehydration and parasites, we had a feeling she had been floating around sick for quite some time. So it's a great thing when the public actually can even find these turtles, and if we can get them before they wash up on a beach too far gone, then it's great. It's great to get a head start on their rehabilitation.
Madison made a full recovery, weighing almost 9 pounds when she was released. Nantucket, a subadult loggerhead sea turtle, was brought to the Turtle Hospital May 13th after being found by county biologists under the Granada Beach Bridge in Ormond Beach. The turtle was debilitated, anemic, dehydrated, and covered in leeches. After 2 months of antibiotics, anti-parasitic medications, iron and other vitamin injections, fluids, and a well-balanced diet, Nantucket also was able to make a full recovery, weighing 77 pounds when released.
Now we have a good amount of loggerhead sea turtles, green sea turtles, even Kemp's Ridleys. And so it's great to be able to get 2 different species, 2 different size classes that use our waters as their habitat right now back out there.
As a reminder, our sea turtle nesting season continues through October. At last count, there are more than 595 sea turtle nests on our beaches. If you see a nesting adult sea turtle or hatchlings making their way to the ocean, admire them from a distance. Stand far away, remain calm, and quietly watch this miracle unfold.
We just ask anyone who's out on the beach at night or lives near the beach to make sure you've got all of your lights off so that we can help these animals make their way back out and help for generations to come.
For information about Volusia County's Sea Turtle Program, you can call 386-238-4668, or you can visit volusiaseaturtles.org. For questions about lighting, you can call 386-238-4773. If you thought the only place to see dinosaurs was on the big screen, then you're in for a treat as Jurassic Quest brings a new adventure to the Ocean Center August 5th through 7th. The adventure brings some of the largest life-size, moving, museum-quality dinosaurs in North America right to us in Daytona Beach.
Jurassic Quest, that's the first time dinosaur event here at the Ocean Center, and it will feature 50 life-size dinosaurs, and they will be interactive. And bring the kids, grandkids, because they'll be able to interact with the dinosaurs.
Jurassic Quest features realistic scenes, enormous dinosaurs, cute baby dinosaurs, and lots of activities for kids of all ages. Visitors can interact with the huge creatures, learn about them, and even ride a few. Young paleontologists can uncover long hidden dinosaur bones in a huge T-Rex and Triceratops fossil dig. Other activities include face painting, dinosaur crafts, and the Dino Bounce area with several dinosaur-themed inflatable mazes. Admission to Jurassic Quest starts at $15 for children aged 2 through 12, $25 for children's VIP admission, $21 for children over 13 years of age and adults, and $19 for seniors. Children under 2 are free. Law enforcement, 911 operators, military personnel, and their families can save $2 each ticket. Tickets can be purchased online at JurassicQuest.com or at the Ocean Center. Jurassic Quest is from 3 to 8 p.m. August 5th, 9 to 8 p.m. August 6th, and 9 to 7 p.m. August 7th. For more information, you can visit JurassicQuest.com. For a complete list of upcoming events at the Ocean Center, you can visit OceanCenter.com and click on the Events tab.
Whoa! Why did you throw the trash out the window?
Once.
Don't you know how long it takes litter to decompose? A cigarette butt takes 1 to 5 years. A plastic bag, 10 to 20 years. A glass bottle, 1,000,000 years.
You know, you're right. We should start caring more about the environment. Let's stop litter now.
Keep Volusia County beautiful.
Put litter in its place. Drive it home.
The Volusia County Library System has more than just books. Here's a look at upcoming programs at our branches. For more library events, visit volusialibrary.org. It's time to go into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, the new Executive Director of the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau, Lori Campbell Baker.
Thanks, Amber. Well, the heat is on and the summer tourism season is in full gear. Tourism is Volusia County's largest industry, and so today we are joined in the studio with Lori Campbell Baker, the new Executive Director of the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Good morning, Joanne. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
So I mentioned you're the new Executive Director.
Very recent.
But you've been in the industry for a long time.
A lot of years.
And,
can't stay away.
Give us a little bit of background for those people who may not have heard your name, which is not that many.
So this is actually the third time that I've been with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. It started back in the early 90s. So I came to the area in 1991, grew up in South Melbourne Beach, and have worked for the American Cancer Society, Bethune-Cookman University. I sold radio for a country station here, and I've worked with the Speedway and International Speedway Corporation, and then most recently with the Daytona Beach News Journal as their marketing director.
And then you came back to the CVB, and you've been the PR director for a while.
There is nothing more fun, as it turns out, than tourism marketing. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, we're glad to, I guess, keep you in the tourism business. So
Thank you.
Let's talk about the operating, how it operates. We have 3 tourism advertising agencies, and they each operate with a portion of a 3% tourism tax.
Right.
So how does the Daytona Beach area allocate those funds?
So yes, it's set up on a state level, and actually the Halifax area, which was the Daytona Beach area, was the first to kind of tie into this. This was by Tom Stead and Hyatt Brown and some folks in the legislature. So then New Smyrna Beach and the DeLand area came on board. Each one charges 3% tax, which goes to tourism marketing. That's actually called the Convention Development Tax, and it's a little confusing. Then an additional 3% tax that goes toward funding our Ocean Center that we're so proud of, and that's actually called the Tourist Development Tax.
Okay.
Again, more confusing. So we're expected in fiscal year 2016-17 in the Halifax area alone to generate a little over $8.2 million in bed tax.
So then, how does your organization divvy up that money? What type of marketing endeavors do you use it for?
We are across the board looking at all different ways to reach our target demographic. So we're out there in the tour and trade. There's the meetings and conventions, which is very strong for us. So we're right now focusing on meetings of 60,000 square feet and less. And you can imagine with all of our hotels that have meeting space and Daytona International Speedway's new $400 million reimagining project, there's plenty of space to sell. Very excited. Then there's the tour and travel, which is like the tour operators, the travel agents. Then there's the media side of the business, bringing travel writers in. We do 2 county-wide media familiarization trips every year, plus just dozens of individual media visits. But a lot of that goes straight into advertising, digital advertising, television ads, all kinds of ways to get the message out to different key audiences. A big part right now is looking at some of the markets in research. We do a lot of research. Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia. We want to see how we can leverage relationships that the county has with, for instance, JetBlue to get more air traffic. You know, what are those folks doing? How do we reinforce the messaging from those key markets?
So you mentioned the familiarization tour, and I know you have one coming up in a few months. Give us a little insight into what writers or whoever the tour is aimed at, what they can expect when they come on one of these tours.
You know, we say all the time they can expect to be surprised. So for instance, within the Daytona Beach area, you don't really think in terms of great new one-off restaurants, right? Independents. We have a lot now. Within the last 3 to 5 years, we've added a lot. They're very surprised, these journalists, at the quality that we have, how eclectic our different assets are in terms of not just restaurants, but attractions, arts and cultural, really big. So, and then of course the Speedway. We always promote the Speedway and the new C.C. and Hyatt Brown Museum. We take them to the DeLand area. We might look at Skydive DeLand. We definitely look at the downtown area, Woodland Boulevard, and maybe Stetson Mansion. You know, a lot of people don't know about that. Then we're down in New Smyrna Beach. Atlantic Center for the Arts is amazing and surprising. The Flagler Avenue and the Canal Street, all very very different than what they're used to. When you put all three of these areas together, all of Volusia County, it paints a picture that says why you should stay here, enjoy all there is to see and do in Volusia, but then we call it the base camp experience. Stay here in Volusia, but then visit historic St. Augustine, visit the theme parks, visit the Space Coast. We're all right here.
You mentioned that you like to promote this area as the base camp, stay here and then make your day trips to maybe the theme parks. How important is Orlando to our tourism area? Because Orlando obviously is worldwide recognition.
Well, Orlando now gets, I want to say, between 63 and 66 million visitors a year. So it's very important because those folks come in, they may come from all over the world. And one of the things that they want to do while they're this close to a coast is see a beach. So we used to say, you know, spend a few days at the theme parks, wear yourself and your kids out, and then come to the beach. And now we've turned that messaging around a little. And what we're saying is you can stay here at the beach, on the beach, and drive over. Within an hour, you're anywhere for the day, and then you can come back. I mean, it's just a very relaxing way to spend your vacation with the most amazing views ever.
So obviously, our beach is one of the biggest draws, and you mentioned the Speedway. What are some other things that you promote within Volusia County that might surprise people?
You know, I think our ecotourism assets are very surprising to folks. The amount of dollars that we as citizens of Volusia County have allocated for things like the Eco Grant Project, the Volusia Forever. We have a trail system that is beyond, you know, what any other area could really hope to have. And it's very strategic and very much appreciated. We have springs, we have historic downtowns. I mean, it's amazing when you look at the downtowns alone. There's downtown Daytona Beach, really two downtowns in Ormond Beach, you know, west and east. And then there's Woodland Boulevard and Flagler and Canal Street in New Smyrna Beach. All of these add to that unique experience. Someone years ago coined the phrase generica, where you could, if you weren't careful, go into an area and see the same brands that you did when where you came from. You don't know the difference. But when you look at how diverse our assets are, we're very unique. We're very unique, and people love that. That really resonates.
So another one of our natural assets is the reef program that Volusia County has been supporting, and we're always building up these reefs. How are you promoting reefs? And I'm sure when people think of Volusia County, the first thing that comes to their mind probably is not reefs.
It's probably not, but again, the surprise aspect. There are now reefs that are man-made, that are built through Volusia County funding, that now promote and encourage great fishing, great diving. Those are things that people come to the area to do. So whereas, again, you might not expect that to be on your list of things to do, if you get on DaytonaBeach.com, you're going to get educated about why you should come and you should do that. And these are growing assets, and that's what's pretty exciting to us, is that, you know, years ago it was good, now it's even better, and we keep growing on those assets and promoting them to visitors. So we put out newsletters, we do social media, we're on the website, we try to get in front of those travel writers with these different story ideas. We send them home with more stories than we know that they'll be able to publish, but it gives them a reason to think twice about the area.
But we didn't even mention the fact that over 40% of the sales tax that's collected in Volusia County is collected by the tourists. So again, a lot of the things that we enjoy here as residents are basically paid for by the tourists.
Yeah, and yeah, that's a really good point, because they don't care so much about our schools or our roads.
Right.
They're just here. But about 40% is generated by our visitors every year, and that takes the tax burden for everything else off of us as residents. I think years ago we calculated between $800 and $1,000 more you and I would have to pay as residents, but not for the tourism assets that are here in the area. And a lot of those assets wouldn't be here if not for the visitors. So for instance, not just the hotels and resorts that are coming in, we're getting an outlet mall now.
Right.
We're getting some really great upscale things like the CC and Hyatt Museum of Art. Really wouldn't be here if it just were the local area to support it.
Right.
Same with the Museum of Arts and Sciences and so many of the things that we take for granted. And the Daytona International Speedway upgrade, that's $400 million of private funding that has gone in. So the visitors are helping to support that, but we always encourage the residents to take a second look at our community. If you haven't taken the time to explore lately, I guarantee you'll be surprised.
So are there any new events or new programs on the horizons as far as promoting the area?
A couple things. You know, the Country 500 came in for Memorial Day weekend this year, was very successful, and we just were told that they're coming back for next year. One of our favorites, of course, is the Daytona Beach Half Marathon that starts and ends at famous Daytona International Speedway and gets a view of the beach as well. So we're looking at new ways, always using the tried and true, but reaching out, especially through digital means, to capture new audiences, the millennials, the boomers, we want them all.
So Lori, for residents and tourists alike who want more information about everything our area has to offer, where should they go?
DaytonaBeach.com. It's the best website that we can put together. We are adding to it literally every day. So new restaurants, new attractions, new hotels, new everything. There's a drop down for things to do, and then also free things to do. So if you have family and friends coming into the area, take a look. Take advantage. We've done the research, but if you see something that's missing, let us know.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lori Campbell Baker, new Executive Director of the Daytona Beach Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thanks so much for being here.
Joanne, thank you.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.